Whispers suggest that Prince Harry, despite embracing a sun-soaked Californian lifestyle, still harbours a deep desire for a traditional British education for his children. Even as he enjoys the freedom and privacy of life in the United States, sources close to the Duke say he often reminisces about the structure and camaraderie of his own school days back in Britain. This internal conflict between past and present, tradition and change, makes his story all the more captivating and relatable. The Sussexes' move to California was a quest for a new beginning, a peaceful life away from the public eye. Their Montecito mansion symbolises this idyllic existence, trading royal protocols for a relaxed lifestyle. This Californian dream promised freedom from media contracts and royal expectations. Yet, the rumour of Harry's preference for British schooling introduces a jarring note. It suggests the Californian dream may not be as perfect as it seems. The American emphasis on individualism might feel alien to someone raised in a system built on tradition. This dilemma highlights fundamental differences in Harry and Meghan's backgrounds. For Meghan, an American education is the norm. For Harry, it's unknown. It complicates their escape narrative, presenting a nuanced family dynamic. There's a contradiction in the Sussexes' desire for privacy and the idea of British boarding schools. They stepped back as royals to give their family a normal life, fiercely protecting their children's privacy. How can this align with sending them to high-profile British schools linked to the aristocracy? Attending such schools would place Archie and Lilibet back into the royal orbit. It seems the opposite of a normal private life. Sending them to school in Britain would entangle them with the royal family and British media. It undermines their claims of escaping a toxic environment. This contradiction fuels skepticism about their true motivations. It creates confusion, leaving the public to wonder what the Sussexes truly want. The British press has a long and complicated history with Prince Harry, often seizing on even the smallest details of his life, like his children's schooling story, to create headlines that capture public attention and fuel ongoing speculation. This coverage plays directly into the ongoing saga of the so-called rogue prince and his American wife Meghan Markle, painting their every move as part of a larger, dramatic narrative. The narrative often suggests that Harry is conflicted, perhaps even regretful about leaving the UK and the royal family behind, hinting at a sense of longing or unresolved tension. It subtly implies that the American dream, while glamorous, has its limitations, undermining the image of a truly contented life in California and suggesting that happiness may be elusive, even in paradise. This persistent narrative keeps the Sussexes firmly tethered to the UK news cycle, ensuring they remain a source of controversy and debate on both sides of the Atlantic. For critics, it reinforces the belief that Harry made a mistake by leaving, fueling ongoing criticism and public scrutiny of his choices. For supporters, however, it's seen as yet another attempt by the press to destabilise the couple and undermine their efforts to build a new life. In reality, the story may reveal more about the media's complicated relationship with Harry than about his actual plans or feelings, highlighting the press's ongoing fascination with his every move. Whether the rumours are true or not, their real purpose is to create an engaging, divisive narrative that keeps audiences invested and emotions running high. In many ways, it's a game that's been played for decades, with Harry as a valuable and enduring player on the ever-shifting chessboard of royal intrigue and media spectacle. The media's fascination with the Sussexes' schooling issue is about upholding a world view. The British press often acts as a guardian of the establishment, with the royal family as a cornerstone. By leaving the UK and criticising the institution, Harry and Meghan challenged this order. The narrative of Harry preferring British education suggests he recognises the superiority of British life. It validates those within the system and reassures the public of British culture's gold standard. This narrative frames Megxit as a personal failing, not an institutional one. It shifts blame onto the Sussexes, exonerating the institutions they criticised. This constant churn of stories keeps the Sussexes in controversy, damaging their brand. The schooling narrative is a tool in a larger culture war over tradition and modernity. To understand the Sussexes' perspective, consider their life in California, the antithesis of royal existence. In Montecito, they're surrounded by innovation and personal growth, contrasting British aristocracy. Their lifestyle reflects new values, focusing on outdoor activities and mindfulness. California's education system aligns with Meghan's background and their goals for Archwell Foundation. Privacy is paramount. In California, their children can have a degree of anonymity. In Britain, they'd be Prince Harry's children first, their every move watched. The freedom for a normal childhood is likely the biggest factor in staying in the US. The idea of sacrificing privacy for traditional education seems unlikely. The quiet normality of Californian life argues against a British upbringing. Beneath the surface of discussions about the Sussexes potentially returning to the UK lies a critical and often overlooked issue: security. This is not just a minor detail, but a significant concern that could impact their decision. Prince Harry's ongoing legal battle over securing police protection in Britain stands as a fundamental obstacle. Without resolution, it casts a shadow over any plans for their return. If Prince Harry believes his family is at risk, the idea of sending his children to board there becomes inconceivable. The safety of his family is paramount. A boarding school, with its fixed location, could easily become a potential target for those with ill intentions. The responsibility for ensuring their safety would be immense, creating a logistical and political nightmare for all involved. This security issue adds a layer of contradiction to the narrative often pushed by some in the press who seem to overlook these concerns. How can they report on Harry's legal battles over security while simultaneously suggesting he's planning to send his children to the UK? For Harry, this is not just a theoretical debate, it's about the real and tangible safety of his family. Until the security issue is fully resolved, any talk of schooling in the UK remains a distant fantasy, a dream yet to be realised. The decision of where to educate Archie and Lilibet is deeply personal, yet a public spectacle. The intense interest in their schooling speaks to the obsession with the royal family. Why can't the Sussexes' choices be respected if they decide on a Californian upbringing? There's a sense of ownership over the prince and his family, expecting public approval. The couple's security needs are questioned, undermining their feelings of vulnerability. This lack of empathy suggests a disconnect between public narrative and their reality. They are seen as public property, not people. The story of Harry and Meghan is one of striving for autonomy against institutional expectation. Until the public grants them the right to decide, they'll remain a source of fascination.